Come, come.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Shruti. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
So, if you want, you feel more comfortable without the mask, then you can take it off. So, Shruti, your father is an architect.
Yes, sir.
You would have no interest in architecture?
Sir, I do like looking at buildings and understanding things, but as a profession,
No. But history also, I think there is a bit of architecture which goes into that.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me this: what is this central vista? The way it's being laid out and planned. What value do you think it will add to Delhi in terms of its architecture and town planning?
Yes, sir. So the Central Vista has been planned as a redesigning of the space around the parliamentary building and the secretariats. The main reason for the replanning is certain spatial problems that the area has in terms of a lack of space, and those buildings were made in a certain time period, sir. And a long time has passed since then, and due to those reasons, that step is being taken. At the same time, there is also an attempt to redesign a place in a new architectural sort of layout, so that can also be a positive step, sir.
So this new architectural layout, what exactly does it kind of represent?
Sir, I'm not very aware about the details and the designing of the space.
Okay, fine. Actually, tell me one thing. This global gender gap, there is a report which is brought out by some agency. Which agency brings it out?
Sir, the World Economic Forum.
So what is it? Is it an intergovernmental body? Is it?
So, it is an international body. I'm not aware if it is a intergovernmental body per se or a.
So what do you mean by international body?
So I think it has international countries as well as other organizations as members that may not be necessarily state actors.
But are some governments also members?
Sir, I'm not aware about the compositions.
Okay, so what is you are aware of their latest report and India's ranking in it?
Sir, I don't remember the exact ranking.
Okay, so but it has come down by some 28 positions, isn't it?
Yes.
What does it show?
So, since independence, I believe, sir, the position of women has continuously increased and has become better in certain ways, I do believe, sir. At the same time, certain gaps do exist in the economic, social, as well as educational realm and in political representation, which is shown through the gender gap, sir. And these differences between the position of men and women is something that we do need to work on. And the gender gap index is an indicator of the steps that we need to take forward in this direction, sir.
How do you see that it is an indicator of the steps that we need to take? Can you just tell us how exactly is this arrived at? What is the basis of this indexing?
So, in terms of the methodology used in the index, I'm not aware about the specific indicators, but I do think that the very index and the fact that we have gone down 28 steps is a point where we should come in and try to increase representation of women, say in the parliament, from the current 14% to more. The gender gap index also in terms of income is around 27% according to the IMF in terms of wage gap between men and women. So these are certain areas where certain steps definitely can be taken. So the very idea that we have gone down 28 steps should be a clarion call for us to do more.
No, this is a good point which you are making. Of course, one can also wonder that how accurate is this index if in 1 year it falls, a country like India, which is a big country, falls 28 position. It shows certain weakness probably in the index itself, and we see very often that we don't agree with the way the indices are built. But are you aware broadly what are the four factors which they take into account?
Sir, I
You
haven't
actually
read-
mentioned a couple of them.
Yes.
It's about access to resources, and I think political empowerment is one, and economic space in economic activity is another. But there are, okay, forget about what they do. If you have to measure, what else would you take into account?
So apart from economic indicators and wage gap, apart from political representation, I think educational status is
Good.
one that needs to be taken into account.
Good.
Social position, although it's hard to quantify that in terms of an index and a numerical number, is certainly one thing that needs to be taken into account, and the presence of women in the public space. So,
Okay.
the visibility of women
Okay.
in the public space.
Now, isn't the political representation in some way capturing this?
Yes, sir. Sir, I do believe.
What
but I
about
think-
health?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Thank
Health,
you.
health is.
Health is a very, very important part, especially
indicator.
the maternal mortality rate.
So, if you have to take health as an indicator, forget about this index. Just tell me, as an administrator, if you have to advise somebody to take health also as an indicator, what way will you suggest that this is the way we can measure health?
Sir,
Think and answer.
So, with specific reference to women, sir?
Yeah.
So, starting from the entire lifeline of a woman, so right from the early age, I believe rates of female feticide are one. Secondly, the malnutrition rates among women, girl children and male children. The differences between that can be an indicator. Malnutrition rates are known to be greater among girl children because of the preference that is given to male child over certain things like milk or eggs which come into the household. Thirdly, sir, is the case of anemia, and anemia rates, in fact, according to the NFHS survey, have gone up rather than coming down with respect to women. So anemia is a major case. Maternal mortality rate, although has come down in the NFHS 5 data, but certain states it's very alarming, especially Assam and Uttar Pradesh.
Excellent. I think you have given a very good reply, I should say. Now, this is going to be my last subject or topic that I am going to touch. And you tell me what is happening in Sri Lanka. What is this crisis, and what are its drivers? What led to this crisis?
Yes, sir. So, the Sri Lankan economic crisis is very extreme at this point, and I recently read that even exams are being cancelled because of the lack of paper. So it's a very, very extreme state. The reasons for it have also been therefore gradual and have accumulated over time. Firstly, sir, is its massive debt burden at that point, and that also has been due to a lot of factors. One of them being the extreme debt dependency on countries like China. Secondly, sir, tourism is a major source of income for the Sri Lankan economy, and the COVID pandemic also had a major impact on that source of income. Then thirdly, sir, certain policies that the government has taken have also been faulty on a domestic level, such as the policy decision to have only organic food in the country. So that brought down the productivity and the economy of the country. The forex reserves have also gone down, and it's a very import-dependent country at this point. So these are a variety of reasons why I feel the economic situation.
You made very good points. Yes.
So how better can I answer that question? Because I was in a bit of fix when you were asking yes, no, and
See, when emotions and mythology is there, like for example, Ram Setu, it's of economic interest. So if majority of the people believe in mythology and that's why they don't want economic development, forget about the decision of the government of India, forget about but your rational thinking should share that it's a emotional issue, but economic conditions should prevail. So therefore, there is no harm in navigating through it. It's in the beginning you said it's not a man-made structure. It's a natural structure. So if we are able to dig through the Suez Canal and Panama Canal, why not through this? If it's safe, and it's only a small part of it that is being wanted, not the entire Adams Bridge.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So because if we keep on taking decisions based on sentiments, then we won't progress.
Yes, sir.
Good. All the best.
Thank you, sir.